Colonel James Skinner is here seated in a black Japan chair placed on a carpet. He's nearly full faced and he's shown in his regimental uniform and the CB star awarded to him by Lord Moray in 1815. Can we go on the next one? The next one, please. Yeah. You know, सभी जो मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट पेजेस हैं उसमें जो रॉयल पोर्ट्रेट्स बनाए हैं वो उनके या तो कंटेम्प्रेरी जो रूलर्स थे उनके या फिर उससे पहले वाले जो रूलर्स थे जिनके पोर्ट्रेट्स या मिनिएचर्स आर्टिस्ट के पास अवेलेबल थे उनको बनाया गया है एंड ऑन एवरी पेज इट्स रिटन राजा मान सिंह ऑफ जयपुर इस तरह से जयपुर वाले सो देयर इज दिस एसोसिएशन द टेक्स्ट इज देयर इन पर्शियन बट ये वाले वाला वो शब्द जो है इट्स included on every page on every title. So he's Raja Man Singh. The next one is Raja Kalyan Singh of Kishangarh. Kalyan Singh succeeded as a minor in 1798, but after he came of age was unable to resolve disputes with his nobles and fled to Delhi, where he spent most of his time. Here he seems to be in his 30s and has obviously been portrait taken from the life during his self-imposed exile in Delhi. Here the artist has combined a beautifully detailed Mughal pavilion with a typically European curtain swag derived from the type of portraits done by the British artists in India. Many of the Rajput nobility, at least those who were not too far from Delhi, would seem to have maintained houses in the city and hence could be portrayed in contemporary fashion. This one. Here, typical of the more old-fashioned Rajput portrait, Maharaja Jagat Singh II of Jaipur or Jaipur Wale is painted here. Standing in profile, his jama or his dress, which is called a jama, is flaring out at the hem and holding a long sword. Skinner follows his account of Jaipur with notices of 15 of its thikanas or tributary states. Can we go? This is Baktawa Singh Alwar Wale. Can we go on the next? Lakshman Singh Sikar Wale. This is Lakshman Singh Neen Rane Wale. Puran Singh Rewadi Wale. This is Aman Singh and his noble Totaram Sonipat Wale. Sardar Ranjit Singh Lahore Wale. So I'll just briefly explain him. Skinner's manuscript includes details of all the contemporary Sikh rulers, beginning of course with Maharaja Ranjit Singh himself. By 1830, his appearance was well known to our Delhi artists, and they have produced a good likeness of him, albeit playing down somewhat his blind left eye. He is seated on a hexagonal gold throne, which may be an attempt to render the Maharaja's actual gold throne, now preserved in the Victorian Albert Museum, London. This has the shape of two octagonal tiers of lotus petals, the traditional seat of Hindu deities, which our artist has perhaps attempted to suggest by portraying Ranjit Singh seated in one of the traditional postures of Hindu deities. Instead of the divine attribute, he bears instead those of a warrior. He has been shown with a sword, dagger, shield, bow and arrow. It is juxtaposed with the refined Delhi interior with a view to the terraced and curtained swags. Other Sikh rulers described in Skinner's text include those of Maharaja, or those of the Maharajas of Patiala, Jeen, Nabha and Kapurthala, all of which accepted British supremacy in 1809 rather than fighting against them. Can we go back? This is Maharaja Karam Singh of Patiala. This is Rani of the late Roop Singh of Yador. Apart from the Sikh accounts, Skinner has also described in his text neighboring rulers to his own rule in rule in Hansi. Kaithal, Rador, Kalsia, Ladwa, Jagadri, and Gulia were those minor six states whose history and portraits are recorded by Skinner. These small states were formed in 1763 after the text. Um, Skinner, in his survey of princely families, concludes his survey with four states under Muslim rule. Two of these, Farrukhnagar and Dujana, are just west of Delhi and were established like Jajjar from land grants to Afghan military chiefs helpful to the British in 1803 to 05. Again, he concludes this book with the large state of Bahawalpur on the left bank of the Satluj and Indus. Although the portrait of the ruler labeled Nawab Dalil Khan is enigmatic, the ruler should have been either Nawab Sadiq Khan II of Bahawal Khan or Behwal Khan III. The portrait's composition seems based on one of the earlier in the 18th century, but no Nawab Dalil Khan seems known from that time. The text of the Tazkira has never been published or translated. James Skinner and the illustrated manuscript are examples of, and his illustrated texts and manuscripts are examples of new kind of non-literary Persian text written by or under the patronage of the British that emerged in late Mughal literary culture and combined topography, biography, and ethnography. Now we'll go to the next one. The back, William Fraser. No. The Tazkira. So the other manuscript I've talked about is Tashri al-Aqwam, an account of the origins and occupations of some of the sects, castes, and tribes of India, mainly focusing on Haryana. This is a Filban elephant keeper or driver. This is a Khirs wala or a bear keeper. This is a Maimun wala or a monkey keeper. A Mewati, a Jat. He's a pair maker. These are the two wrestlers, very famous sport. The toy maker from Haryana, a physician, an alcohol shop. And I was talking about the Medicans, so here is a Bairagi, Jain, the Jogis, the Nath Jogis, a Khaki, a Sufi. Can you just stop on this one, sir? A khaki is explained very briefly in this text, and it's been told that he smears ashes on his body, and the khakis always have a lit fire altar near them. So it can be, a very confusing image which can depict a shared imagery also, but he is a Sufi khaki. Can we go on the next? Thank you. Just stay there for a minute, sir. So he is William Fraser. Thank you so much, but I have a few more things to explain. William Fraser was an Indian civilian. His brother James Fraser was an amateur artist and author, joined him in India in 1814. Between 1815 and 1820, the brothers commissioned a collection of watercolors. This group of over 90 drawings by Indian artists discovered amongst the Fraser papers in 1979 is arguably one of the finest group of company school pictures yet known. These drawings have not only made a great contribution to knowledge of the work of Indian artists in early 19th century Delhi, but provide an unsurpassed record of life in and around the old Delhi Mughal capital. So, we'll quickly go through the paintings. She is Ami Ben, William Fraser's wife. Can we go? These are the musicians from his album, the Corn Crushers, grinding. So, and these are a few studies of local men. And he is a real figure called Kala. In one, he is holding a sword, and the other one, he is holding a gun. And in the end, I would want to show you a few of the imagery of how the Indians were perceiving themselves and they were painting themselves on the walls of Haryana. So these are some 19th century wall paintings. We'll quickly go through them. This is a quote from Kalsia's fort, quote scene from Kalsia's fort, where the king of Kalsia is sitting and his ministers are sitting around him. Can we go on the next one, sir? The detail of the king. This is miniature. This is a wall painting from Seth Patran Das's Bhiwani Haveli. This is Raja Mordhwaj and his wife. And again, the caste paintings or the occupational paintings are also depicted on the wall paintings from Haryana. So this is uh, uh, a kisan, a potter, a cloth maker, a businessman, a shoemaker, and a grinder, oil grinder. Again, the religious imagery is also there. The chef family sieving the bhang. Can we go on the next one, please? Again, this is a miniature. This is a mural from Kurukshetra region depicting Krishna. Again, Krishna with playing his flute, looking for this thing, Makhan, Hanuman. The Nath yogis are also very popular in the visual culture. Here one is painted. Next one, Tulsi, worship of Tulsi. Again, the cow is again a popular theme. The festival of Tej, then undressing and dressing are again popular themes. The wrestlers, again one more depiction. Consume the hookah and how it's very popular. A mundane scene where a woman is running after a cat who's taken her parrot. Nudes are not very popular. This is the only one which is depicted on a ceiling. I would want to dwell briefly on this, and it's a very important scene. This scene captures the real essence of the folk. It is pulsating with life. People of Haryana are said to be direct and they add no frills to their talks, at times to the point of being rude. Here, two women are represented involved in a verbal combat. They are standing facing each other. Both are shown wearing Haryanvi attire and are moderately adorned, only in bangles indicating their not so high economic status. The females have their mouths swollen up and they are abusing each other. The right one is blowing out a male figure from her mouth. This represents the common abuses used by Haryanvi women related to the death of men from their opponent's family. Thank you so much. I'm overwhelmed. In the other figure, the male figure is coming out from the nose of the female, depicting the practice of blowing out air as an ill omen for the opponent in Haryana. So, next one. Next one. Thank you. Thank you for being so patient. Thank you so much.
Lights. अच्छा सुनो भाई, वो सारी रात ट्रेवल करके सुबह 6 बजे पहुंचे थे, और लेकिन उनकी बात जो थी ना, वो आप समझो कि ये एक पहली जो पेंटिंग्स हैं दुनिया की मार्केट में, ये 1-1 करोड़ की बिकती हैं, जो ये दिखा रहे थे, ये पहली पेंटिंग थी जिसमें आपके पूर्वजों को दिखाया गया था। इस सेशन का असली मतलब हमारा ये था, आपको दिखाने के लिए कि आपके पास एक ऐसा खजाना है जो आज के दिन शायद हमें ना समझ में आए, लेकिन जैसे हम जिंदगी में आगे बढ़ते हैं, हमारे जो फाइनल इंस्टिंक्ट है वो इम्प्रूव होते हैं, तो फिर हमें इन चीज़ों की वैल्यू पता लगती है। और हम ये बताना चाहते थे कि आज तक ये हमारे हरियाणा में नहीं दिखाई जा रही, इसीलिए आप लोग भी इनसे अनजान थे। इरादा था कि आपको ये दिखाने का कि ये आपका खजाना है और इसको अपनाओ। थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Anjali Duhan Gulia, for taking us all back to the 19th century Haryana, a very informative pictorial ride to the past. Your presentation took us back to the times of 19th century. Now I'll request Professor